Hello again, everybody. This is Steve coming to you with yet another writing video. And congratulations to me, I guess. I just realized today this is my 70th video. It doesn't mean I got all 70 of them up on YouTube, because I think a couple of them I ended up deleting for various reasons. But as far as number I've made, this is number 70. Anyways, got a few quick points for you guys on this writing musings that I thought you would find interesting. For those of you who are sci-fi nerds and you're the nerds, geeks, whatever, or you're into sci-fi writing and stuff, here's something that a lot of people don't think of, because it's when we talk about it, it's kind of second nature, and that's entry versus re-entry. And this is talking about planet, a location, typically planets, but it can be a lot of just any place that you're going into. That this would apply. Entry versus re-entry. When we talk about landing on a planet, we usually say re-entry. However, it's not re-entry if you've never been there before. If it's your first time there, you are making entry into the planet. If you've come off the planet and you come back, it's re-entry. So you only do entry once. Everything after that is re-entry. So like if you leave Earth and you come back, it's re-entry. If you leave Earth and go to Mars and you've never been there before, it's entry. So anyways, I wanted to cover that. Another sci-fi point I wanted to cover is Lagrange Points. I will let you guys research those. There's a ton of cool information. This is a fun subject to research. The TLDR on that, the short summary, is basically they are points in space where you don't have to set yourself in an orbit. Like when it's around Earth, you have to put yourself in a specific orbit, and you have to have a specific speed, and you have to maintain that orbit and speed and everything, or you have to maintain that speed and everything to maintain orbit. With Lagrange points, you literally drive up, park your ship, and as long as you stay inside the Lagrange point, you don't have to worry about are you in the right orbit, or are you in is your speed right and stuff like that. It's basically kind of this point in space where gravity from two different bodies in space balance everything out, and you can literally drive a ship in there, park it, and it'll stay. You don't have to adjust orbit, you don't have to change your position, you just park it there and it stays. It's a really cool piece of science. Item 3, I'm giving you this link here. I will try to put it in the description. I am very bad about that. I apologize. It's, I do these in advance, like months out, and then by the time I get to doing it, I forget that I have links in there, and I need to put them in the actual video description. So, forgive me. I'm bad about that. I confess that. But that's also why I put these up on the screen, so you can look at them and transcribe them, transpose them, whatever you want to do, and go watch them. Trying to remember what this one was, but this one is good for for fantasy and historical settings. This one here, let me think what that one was. Okay, I had to stop for a second to go look and remember what that one was. The title of the video is that. What was it like to live on a medieval farm as a peasant? Good for historical fiction, good for fantasy fiction, because if you're doing fantasy fiction, you're going to have that kind of thing that you're going to be dealing with. So it deals with a medieval farm, but then there's a lot of stuff that translates into fantasy writing. Like if you have orcs and goblins and trolls and all that kind of stuff, like traditional fantasy writing, this will still translate into that, because you're going to have the same basic technology, society, living conditions, etc., like that, as you would in medieval Europe. Point number 4. If you do hard sci-fi, which is science fiction that sticks lockstep with everything that's proven science, then you want the TV series The Expanse, because that deals with hard science. You're dealing with acceleration, deceleration, space combat, which you're not dealing with phasers and photon torpedoes and stuff. You're dealing with missiles and nukes and railguns and stuff that that if you're dealing with hard sci-fi and not like soft sci-fi like Star Trek, or you're dealing with theoretical physics and you're dealing with theories and even in some cases just wild imagination stuff that may not actually physically be possible, or is fanciful, or is way beyond what we can do right now. It may eventually be possible, but it's just beyond our ability right now. That's soft sci-fi. Hard sci-fi is, like I say, it's lockstep with everything that's proven science. And Expanse is great for that because that's exactly what they do. They deal with the numbers, they deal with the technology and everything. It's future from where we are, but it goes in and says, okay, all of this fanatical Star Wars, Star Trek, warp drive, hyperdrive, all that kind of stuff, that doesn't exist. What exists is these physics, these ships, how they do their burns, how they do the acceleration, deceleration, the inertia, and all of that. So that's good for that kind of thing. Now, if you're into sci-fi or soft sci-fi and you do deal with like warp drive and stuff like that, this one here details the current standing theories on warp. I mean, you can research, like I say, Star Wars, Star Trek, bunch of other shows like that, or shows and sci-fi IPs and things like that to get how warp theory works. At least in the soft sci-fi universe. This one throws, I say soft sci-fi basically, but it also kind of has a hard sci-fi edge to it because it's not just here's how Star Trek does it. It's if we did it ourselves, here's how it would work. So, I think that's all I've got. I did that in 7 minutes. Oh wow, that's impressive. Because normally I'm up here chatting for a half hour, 45 minutes or longer. That's all I've got for this, and I can't think of anything else at the moment. But I did, I've been seeing, as I see things, I grab them because I think, they might help you guys with your writing. They're good research items and items to look into. And, as I've said in other videos, research. All I'm doing is I'm planting the seed. You have to do the rest of the gardening from that point forward till harvest, so to speak. But anyways, I'll leave it at that, and see you guys in the next video. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, things you want me to talk about, please let me know. I'll definitely toss it in my videos. It might, depending on how far this is out compared to when you ask the question, it may be a while before I answer it, but I will get to those questions. Eventually, I'm going to get, my YouTube publications are going to get caught up with where I am on my videos, and the videos will slow down. And then we can do more a case of you ask the question and I'll have the answer within like a couple days for you. But, either way, I will get you guys these answers. Of course, by the time you see this, I should be already caught up. But anyways, it's just if you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, anything you want to yell at me about, go for it. Anyways, see you guys in the next video.